can be better than
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Buzzing with Brilliance podcast, where extraordinary entrepreneurs are sharing their secrets to what they define as success. I'm Mary Gooden, CEO and founder of what I like to call my brilliant life. And I am here to help heart-centered, purpose-driven entrepreneurs increase their visibility, their income, and their impact in fun an easy way. So today on the show, I am sitting alongside the brilliant Laura Staisiunas. She is one of the most amazing women I have met. We met through one of the books that we put out almost a year ago to date.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
March of 2023, Divine Love. Laura, welcome to the show. Thank you
Thank
for being here.
thank you for the invitation. I love being here.
Yeah, it is fun to share space together. We just got
Yeah.
off the pre-call and talked about the vibrancy really of flowers and how fun they are to look at and how they call to us really. I have the same experience. Like flowers are always saying, pick me, take me.
Oh,
So tell us, Laura, where you are joining us from and how you support your clients.
all right. I am just outside of Boulder, Colorado. I'm a native Chicagoan, and I moved out here about 18 years ago to be in the mountains, to be uh, just to be back in nature. Different lifestyle, than the city. And I told myself 5 years, and if I don't like it, I'm going to go back home. I moved here without knowing anybody. I think I knew one person, and it was like, yeah. So it was one of these blind faith. I was coming out here for workshops and like seminars and everything like that. And I thought, you know what, I just have to do it. And it was hard because my whole support structure was there, but I felt that calling to, it's just like, if it's not now, then I would still be in Chicago. It's that act of faith.
Mm. That's such
Yeah.
a big word, but it is an act of faith. I love how when you talk about it though, Laura, it's like your body shows us that it's a breath of fresh air what you did. And
Yeah.
even though you didn't
Yeah.
know anybody, it's a breath of fresh air. And every time you talk about it, it's like that breath of fresh air comes in.
Yeah.
But I imagine Colorado frequency is it's definitely different than being a Chicago
Yeah.
city girl.
Yeah. And that's one thing. It's like, listen to your body, because your body's so smart. It tells you everything. And when I was back in Chicago, really Chicago's a vortex because it has everything there. Plus, my whole family was back there, my spiritual community was back there, my women's group was so it was hard to break, to get out of that spiral
Mhm.
and get here. But I would feel every time I would like go into the city. In Chicago's huge, but go into like downtown, I just felt so compressed. I felt my energy just compressing my body, my field, and I'm like, I don't want this. I don't want this. And then I come out here and I have all these evergreen trees, in my yard and space, and I just felt that expansiveness.
Mhm. Yeah, sounds yummy. I'm walking with you through it now. Our
Yeah,
bodies too. Our bodies have a lot to say. Um, and I feel like in this lifetime, we've kind of been taught not to listen to the body, which is
yeah,
where we go into all those different ways of calming it. But
yeah.
interesting enough, I'm glad that you made a decision to choose you and prioritize your comfort. Um, and so how are you supporting your clients with this now that you've gotten yourself into this place? I know that you have quite a journey, a hero's journey through entrepreneurship.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I guess my mission is I work with people to help them identify their soul's path. And I do that the best way I know how, through my personal experience, usually through two ways: through the Akashic Records and just through creativity. Because people always think you have to be serious, or there's this sense of like drudgery, or it's a quote lesson. No, it's none of that, you know? And I find that they come up with these blocks. Sometimes they're self-imposed, limitations, or it could be ancestral or, family um ideas, or, religions. And it's like, no, no. And so we work through those, and we open that up, and it's like they walk through the portal.
Mm-hmm. There is lots of self-imposed, there's lots of self-imposed
Yeah.
boundaries and ideas
Yeah.
around entrepreneurship too, that I know that we all will oftentimes butt up against and run into, which is why your service, your light that you shine is so empowering. The Akashic wisdom, opening up the records, being a hand to hold during a time of wanting to expand in a new direction of business, wanting to scale, wanting to do all the things that lean into entrepreneurship, but also being that same person that is purpose-driven leader, purpose-driven entrepreneur, heart-centered, which is a way that we've been walking through entrepreneurship in a
Yeah.
new way. I would say over the last 7 to 10 years.
Yeah. And the other interesting thing too, Mary, is by training, I'm a clinical pharmacist, and I've been in traditional healthcare for like years. We're talking years. And it was always that physical healing, and it took me a long time to accept and integrate the notion that, or the belief that, people heal on different levels, and I can help them heal on different levels. And I mean, I've been doing alternative work for years. I always had this duality, but with the energy work, and how to shift that. And it took me a while to kind of let go of, 'cause that was my identity. What do you do? Oh, I'm a pharmacist. I'm not as how often do you say, oh, yeah,
Mhm.
but it helped. And I, started to feel kind of guilty about leaving my field in traditional healthcare. And because I put so much work into this, I was rewarded for this. I mean, so I'm sure so many people can relate. Your family, how come you're leaving? You're so good at it. You can just step in and boom, do, 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 do. You can do this. But boy, it wasn't, it's not me.
I love the way that you just brought to life in me that just because we know how to do things doesn't mean it's comfortable for us or that we want to
Yeah,
keep doing it. But we have kind of been
yeah.
groomed into that, but you're good at it. Just because I'm
Uh,
good at it doesn't necessarily mean I want to go to sleep with it every night anymore.
yeah,
I think that part of us, because partly that's where we become entrepreneurs. I want to try something that I'm not good at. I
yeah,
want to try getting good at something else, or I just want to try all the things. It's like when I
yeah.
go to restaurants, I want to know what everybody's getting, and then I always announce like I like to share
Yeah, yeah,
because I like a variety. Uh,
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
I love about entrepreneurship for me. It offers me a variety.
yeah,
I can
yeah,
step into different portals with it in different
yeah,
ways. And that has felt like what's been the most expansive for me as being an entrepreneur and a purpose-driven one or a heart-centered one. Same thing to me. Just that I can lean into that heart or that quest or that desire. And as an entrepreneur, I can shape shift into whatever I want.
Yes, exactly.
And then I could
Exactly.
just say, what do you
Yeah.
do? Well, I'm an entrepreneur. Sometimes I'm a publisher, and sometimes I'm a mentor, and sometimes I'm a retreat facilitator, but I'm an entrepreneur. And
Exactly.
I'm in the portal of what Akashic wisdom has taught me, which is why I think that's so brilliant, that I can dabble and do whatever it is that
Yeah.
feels called from my heart or from my source or from
Yeah.
my intuition or from my records.
Yeah.
So I would love for you, Laura, to share with us. I know you've got 3 fun and easy tips for us today, to share with the audience on being a successful entrepreneur or being an extraordinary entrepreneur and what that means to you. So I would love to hear some of your tips.
Well, I think the first thing I want to tell people is do the thing. I think this was from Eleanor Roosevelt. Do the things you think you cannot do,
Mm,
because that's where the gold is.
gold.
And what I, again, coming from this medical healthcare field, blood and guts, I wanted to shift into my creativity. I mean, I created my Oracle deck and never did this before, but I knew I got the nudging to do this. And I, this is all, I mean, I did my own artwork. I mean, it was like, boom. And I use this with my clients too. They get stuck, we'll pull a card.
Mhm.
The very simple one word. It's not complicated, but it's fun. And they're like, oh, this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
So
Do the
no
things.
formal art. And I just, and it's like, okay, I had to do some digging around, had to find a couple people, had to figure out who publishers, and all my doors started to open.
When your heart opens, the doors do open.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? And
Yeah.
I have a set of that deck actually. My friend Amanda's and I are headed out tomorrow, and I said, I've got Laura, because she said, oh, Laura's got a deck. And I said, yeah, I have that deck in Sedona. And so she's
Yeah.
going to get to play with it and feel of it. So I love that. So what was that? Do the things you think you can't. Is that what you said? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do the things you think you cannot do. Yeah.
It's brilliant. So that's
Yeah.
number 1, everyone. Write it down. Do the things you think
Yeah.
you can't do.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I could be a publisher. I'll tell you that, because I didn't go to school for anything that was related to publishing. I went to business management, but I was in a place, just like Laura said, like, I'm tired of all this. So the first thing that I thought heard myself say, I can't write a chapter. I don't write. I did it. And then
Yeah.
I kept doing
Yeah.
the things I didn't think I could do, but
Yeah.
that's brilliant. All
Yeah.
right. What's
The
lucky
second
number?
thing, the second thing I would say is, and I think this happens to a lot of us, the critic comes out. That's been done before. What are you
Mhm.
going to, this is not new. Yeah, but you didn't put your spin on it. You didn't put your energy on it. So what my advice is, quiet the critic by giving it small wins.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little, like, um, one little thing that brings you joy, or just puts a smile on your face. When that critic comes in, say,
Mhm.
okay, not now.
Mhm.
So it'll kind of like crush that critic.
Mm. I love that. And I'm going to circle this back to the cards again.
Yeah.
If you play with cards, or if you don't play with cards, or you want some really brilliant cards, Laura's cards are brilliant. But in some instances, I think during my journey, I used a lot of cards because they
Mhm.
would help me cancel the inner critic. What am I saying, and what does the universe want to tell me? So that's a fun.
Yeah. And I think probably the last thing that I would say, tell people, don't wait. Do not wait. Get
Mm.
out there, network, get new experiences, travel, um, find out what's true for you and just take maybe a baby step if you're still kind of like in that kind of holding back energy. Just what's one thing I can do today? One little baby step, but don't wait.
Mhm. That's a good one. You know, because what are you really waiting for? What are
Yeah,
you what are you really waiting for? What do you have to lose in trying and just
yeah,
trying something new, like you said, a new experience? I imagine that circles into your story too. Like you would go from Chicago and you would dabble in Colorado. So if things are calling you, find small ways to dabble. Maybe you can't just book a flight to Colorado or Sedona like we did,
yeah,
but maybe you can look at pictures and it'll put you in a new, fresh perspective
yeah,
uh, of, you know, when you're thinking about your business or thinking about your life or what you want to create, perhaps put some pretty vibrational music on where you change the atmosphere
yeah.
one way and think about.
Exactly. Or even your office space. What you see is what you create. So I have my, different photos up. I have different inspirational, some candles that I just love, that I have in here. I have my feathers. What I see is the energy that I'm creating.
Mhm. That's good. Surround yourself with the
Yeah.
bits and pieces. So these are so good. I just want to reflect back. So in case you guys didn't get your pencils out in time or weren't really in it, do the things you think you can't do. Step
Yeah.
into those things.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. People say, well, what's my, yeah, that's what you're supposed to be doing. All right.
The things that, right? Because people will say, I don't know. You've really heard something, but you just don't want to do it. So you say, I don't know. I don't know how many times I did that. I changed I don't know to I surrender because
Yeah.
otherwise I would hear an answer and then I would still, my human would come in and say, well, I don't know then because
Yeah.
I don't like the
Yeah.
answer.
I know. I know.
I don't like the answer. So I just got to
Yeah.
throw an I don't know in there. Oh,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
this is such
And,
a,
you know, and getting back to the trust, that trust factor, have that faith, don't diminish your own power. Stay in that state of trust
mm-hmm.
because you're in that alignment. And again, you have to listen to that. You have to listen to that message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust is a big one because we've gone through life thinking there's an earnership to trust. Instead of starting with trust, we think that
Yeah.
it goes the other way around. But I like what you just said.
Yeah.
Just trust first.
Yeah. Or I trust receiving. So many of us give, 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 and we don't sit back and receive.
Mm. A lot of us don't. We don't. I think that there's an interesting place of understanding what receiving really is supposed to look like or feel like. Uh, just oh, these are all so good. So number 2 is the inner critic. Um, and I wrote this down to practice ways, right, of canceling or quieting
Yeah.
the inner critic, that voice inside of you that says you can't, or you
Yeah.
should, or wouldn't, and not to be confused with the safety voice,
Yes, exactly.
where the trust piece, like you just said, when the trust piece comes in, you know when you're canceling something because you're scared, and when
Yeah.
you're canceling something because it feels unsafe.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. Or sometimes you judge yourself. It's that self-judgment that starts to percolate too.
The J word.
Yeah.
The J
Exactly.
word.
Yeah.
Uh, take the J word,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then number 3, don't wait. So many
Yeah.
songs come to my head when you say those words, don't wait. They all reflect the same thing. Don't waste your time. Go get your joy and your love and your peace right now
Yeah.
in small increments, in little sips of breath if you have to.
Yes.
But what do you, because, you know, and that's one thing you can ask yourself, I would say, you know, if you think, I should wait, ask yourself right away, why? What are you waiting for? Write that down on your bathroom mirror. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting? Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you waiting for?
Yeah.
These are all so good, Laura. Thank you for sharing these delicious tips with the audience. So what do you have going on? How can people find you? How can we get closer to you, Laura?
Oh, they can visit my website, littleaspenstudios.com.
Mhm.
And I'm doing, a matter of fact, I have um, several Akashic record classes coming up, which is online in Zoom. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm doing that, and I do one-on-one sessions, some coaching. I'm going to be doing an online workshop on creating your personal oracle deck.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we're gonna uh see how it goes online. I usually teach it in person, but this is one that I did.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so this is another, 12 cards. So we're gonna do something like that online.
I think
Yeah.
that's super cool too
Again,
for
like
entrepreneurs because
fun things, but it's got that energy backing behind it. So
and you can relate them to your brand or your mission statement or your purpose and use
exactly,
them
exactly.
uh,
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
clients. That's super cool. I think that's fun. So it's littleaspenstudios.com. Just
Yes.
like the word little, Aspen, Colorado, ASPEN, studios with an S.com. This will be in the show notes, but in case you want to jump over there now and grab yourself a look at all the things that Laura has going on. If you're in the market for a new deck, I highly recommend that you go over to littleaspenstudios.com and pick up one of Laura's decks. I have one. I've had it for a little over a year now because I got it right
Yeah,
after
yeah.
I did it to
Hot off the press.
and
Yeah,
I play with it when I'm in Sedona and I use it for clients in Sedona. And sometimes I get on readings and use it there. So they're very
yeah,
powerful.
yeah.
But thank you. Thanks for sharing all these tips. Thanks for sharing your energy with us today. And
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you to all the listeners. I hope that you are enjoying Buzzing with Brilliance podcast and gaining all these fun and easy tips of ways that you can lean into entrepreneurship, extraordinary entrepreneurship, new ways of thinking and being. And again, these three things that Laura just shared with us, don't do the things that you think you can't. Just little steps towards them every day. Quiet the inner critic. You've got this, mama. Papa, you've got this.
Yeah,
And say it for yourself when you need to hear it. And then don't wait. There's
yes,
so much extraordinary bits and pieces of life that we've tried to postpone because I keep hearing it like, when I'm retired, when this is done, I'll do that. Don't wait. When
yeah,
this is happening, take little steps towards this too. And you'll usually find out that the universe doesn't give you more than you can handle. And one
right.
thing unhooks while you're ready to hook into the next thing. Just
Exactly, exactly. And, get out there and talk with people.
yes. Share your dreams and your passion with other people.
Collaborate with people. If maybe you're still kind of on the, like on the edge of doing call somebody, call your yoga teacher and say, hey, I'm thinking about this. Do you know anybody that might want
Mhm.
to, co-facilitate this program? We're shifting into this energy of collaboration and into the field of oneness. So yeah, let's, pull things together.
Love it. I
So if
love that.
you are a little afraid, or you're still getting those little nigglies, yeah, go out there and talk with people.
Mhm. Just see, sometimes we do this a lot with speaking. You just say it, you just get it out and see how it lands. And
Yeah,
until you get it out of your mouth, you won't know how it lands. So, like you
right.
said, Laura said, I do that with my celebrations. I get into people's inbox or their messenger when I'm celebrating something, and I just celebrate it with somebody else because
Yeah,
then they get excited because then they come in and say, I just love that. I needed to remember to celebrate, right? But yeah, connection and collaboration are
yes,
the most powerful bits that we have right now as entrepreneurs, which is completely different
Yeah.
from what you heard entrepreneurship was. Don't share your secrets. Don't tell anyone, like Wonka. I was watching Wonka, like, you've got the four biggest chocolate makers in the world.
Yeah.
And they're not, only three of them were collaborating, but I didn't get
Yeah.
to see the end because my flight ended, but I will soon. Well, thank you all. Thank you,
Yeah.
Laura. I'd love to wrap this
Thank
up.
you.
Big
Yeah.
love. Go out there and do the things that you think you can't, because you'll surely find out that, oh my gosh,
You really
what
can.
was I waiting for?
Exactly. Don't we?
All right, everyone. Until we meet again, go out there, buzz with brilliance because it's in you. Shine
Yeah.
that light on. Bye for now.
Okay.